And all right, and we are back for episode 9 of the Drum Iowa Network. It is your dear friend Mike Bailey, and I am here with our dear friend Jessica Kettler from
Great to be here.
Gold Acres. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
So thank you for taking time out to come and hang out here at the show. I want to go over a couple really quick updates. Proceeds Fest was a blast. Thank you all for coming out and hanging out with us out in LaPorte City with Danny Eastman and the gang. We had a ball.
It looked like so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. You know, we had a lot of good people out. The vibe was good.
Stars?
I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did. I didn't see anything fall, but I was looking at my drum for the vast majority of the evening, but I didn't see anything fall. But it was a picture perfect night. Crystal clear skies all night long.
Nice.
Good deal all around. Big shout out to all of the fellow instructors that were a part of that event.
I can see that one growing quite a bit. Every year, I think it's going to get big.
We have some hopes. We have hopes.
Do you want it to be big, or is
I would like to see people out having a good time that are wanting to be there. Because there's one thing to be at a place, and there's another thing to be there and be having a good time and engaged. So as long as the crowd is that, I'm good. I would not like to see it grow into something where it's just very commercialized.
Yeah. I think sometimes with bigger crowds, it's harder to find those connections and really kind of sit down and have a good conversation with someone you don't know or someone you do know.
And that was the cool thing about it. I felt comfortable walking up to any stranger, just kind of having a conversation. How'd you learn about the event? And people were just really open and really just glad to be there. So that was probably one of the biggest things.
Yeah, that sounds like a special event for sure.
For sure. All right, Jessica Kettler, let's take a deep dive. Inquiring minds want to know. So you're from Iowa. Benton, Iowa.
Yep, originally from Benton, Iowa. Grew up here, went to school here, went to UNI, just up the road from you. Quickly left after that and just traveled around and went to school at Oregon State, studied more art.
How was that experience, Oregon State?
It was beautiful. It had everything I loved. It was like mountains and had the ocean and
trees.
Yeah, I'm a big nature girl, so I gotta be around that stuff to feel.
Happy you made it back to the Midwest here in Iowa.
Yeah.
So
it was a bit unexpected, but as they say, every Iowan that leaves will eventually come back, and it was true for me.
Okay.
So I was the stereotype.
Well, we're happy that you came back because you brought some really good stuff with you.
Thank you.
Big question I have for you is how you transition from Jess Kettler, the traditional artist, to Jess Kettler, the venue. Wendy Gold Acres, that seems like a pretty big shift. Can you kind of just talk us through how that happened for you?
Yeah, I can see how it could seem like a big shift, but to me it was a very gradual. I accumulated different experiences, different teachings from different places that I have been in my life, and it all just kind of came together at the farm. So everything from yoga to nature and kind of like more like the herbal medicine and different things. It all just kind of came together in Iowa, which was kind of unexpected. I didn't know I was going to be finding a permanent home in Iowa, but it just had everything I wanted, and it was kind of like a dream that had just come true.
Well, big shout out to you because you're doing big things, especially for this part of the state where, they're very much limited when it comes to alternative forms of entertainment. Some of your shows are really one of a kind that you'll never see anywhere else again. So if you're looking for something unique, some fun that you've never heard of before, you definitely need to be following Wendy Gold Acres and getting into that vibe. Just to kind of shift gears a little bit, you have a really fun event coming up here in about, 10 days?
I think it's less than 10 days.
Less than 10 days? Next Saturday, 24th?
Yeah,
it's about 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah. Right? You've been working hard.
Flies.
You've been working hard.
Yeah.
And I always butcher the name of this event. I've talked about it, and every time I talk about it, I give it a different name. So can you please grace the viewers, and the viewers who are watching this know exactly what I'm talking about, because every time I talk about this event, I mess it up and I always say the wrong name. So what is the name of the event?
It's called the Fairy Experience. It's an immersive fantasy retreat. We basically just invite, it's like a creative retreat. It's just basically an artist retreat, but it has a fairy theme to it. So all the artists we bring in a fairy theme, like very whimsical and very, fantasy-like. And then our musicians, they're just kind of wandering around. They're dressed up and they're either playing the flute or a fiddle. and the Loot. Yeah.
Is Andre
very unique.
3000 going to be there?
What?
Andre 3000
I hope
from
so.
Outkast? Is he
I
going to be
always
there?
try and invite one celebrity.
You know he plays the lute. He made a whole album. His most recent
Flute
album,
or the Loot?
the flute.
Okay. Yeah, I knew.
So it's a different instrument.
We should reach out to him.
I think he probably would love this event, knowing Andre 3000 and Outkast. So Andre 3000, if you're watching this, you would love the Fairy Retreat. You know, it's going to be your vibe. Would that give it a new name again?
The Fairy Experience.
The Fairy Experience.
An immersive fantasy retreat. The emphasis on retreat, because one thing about this is like if you go to an event like a Renaissance fair, it's very, you're watching everything, you're watching shows, and it's all very stimulating.
Okay.
And not to say this won't be, because we will have entertainment and everything, you know, you can watch and do and play, but we'll also have different areas where you can just relax and kind of like take a break, which is really nice just outside of a fairy retreat.
Okay.
Know? And so you can paint, we'll have canvases, and you can just create different crafts with nature. It's very kind of like you can do your own stuff too. You don't have to always be just watching.
Right.
You kind of just become immersed in the whole event.
You become the event.
Yeah, you're just part of the event. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, you're not just there to be entertained, but you can kind of relax and be in the moment there.
A lot of our viewers want to be more whimsical, and they want to engage in more activity that is more on the fantasy side of things, but they may be a little bit inhibited. So what would you have to say to the person that's breaking into their whimsical self? Maybe it's not all the way there. Do you have anything for them to where they can come in and enjoy it without necessarily having to go as deep as others?
Yeah, of course. Like there's no like recommended level of whimsy.
Okay.
Basically, if you like to do any of the things that we're offering, like we have sound bowls and hula hooping, music, art, anything that's, I mean, it doesn't have to be tied to, you know, a fantasy. If you like any of those things, yeah, come enjoy that and just watch or like just be yourself.
For sure.
Yeah. It doesn't really have to, there's no.
And the other side to that is if you want to immerse yourself into this event, and if you want to take that rabbit hole and see how far it goes, there's a place for you there.
Yeah, there's no bottom to the level of creativity that you want to go, which is something I love. And you don't have to worry about judgments or just not feeling like you can't be yourself. You know,
Okay.
You just kind of come as you are. And if that includes dressing up in a mushroom hat or, you know, just creating your own garb that you feel it really accentuates who you are.
For sure. For sure. Let's talk a little bit about accommodations for people who are coming out for the first time, who have never been out to Windy Gold Acres. What are some of the options? I know you have yurts, I know you have cabins, and I know a lot of those things are booked up at this point when it comes to this event. But can you talk about, you know, the accommodations out there?
Yeah, I mean, outside of the event, we have, like you said, the yurts and the cabins, and people are really excited about the Hobbit house, which is super cute. It has the little round door and everything. And we try and make it for the event. So for the fairy event, it's called the Gnome Home, and we have a different event, Hobbits and Elves, it's the Hobbit house. So basically, if you just want to come out and enjoy the farm, we have all sorts of different activities you can do just if you're doing a farm stay outside any kind of events. So you can do a goat social or a llama hike or.
And then you have the Hobbit house. That's definitely on my list of things to do.
Yeah.
So
we try and make them all a little bit different, so kind of mix it up a little bit. So.
Absolutely. And for folks who are big into privacy, you also have opportunities for people if they want to rent the whole venue out for an event.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one thing we're working towards more is people that want to do their own kind of events and retreats. And even if it's like a birthday party, it doesn't have to be like a full-blown
For sure.
Fantasy retreat, you know.
So all of my friends up here in Black Hawk County, you hear that, right? People are always thinking about new activities and new things. We have Chelsea. Chelsea is what, 50 minutes away?
Yeah, Yeah, 40 to 50.
Around 40 to 50 minutes away. You can go, you can rent the whole venue out for you and your party. You can have a birthday party. You can do your thing in privacy. Jess has got a liquor license if that's your thing. And, you know, put it on the agenda, put it on the list of things to do. So, okay, you brought a friend with you.
I did.
And
I'm super excited about this.
And I'm super excited to have her here as well because she is in full Jess Kettler art mode. Sarah, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. You know, it's an honor to have you here. You've been hanging out with Jess for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we met in college.
Okay. All right. Talk to us about what you got going on.
This is one of her pieces that she's made specifically for the fairy experience. She's been working on it for a while. She's had this concept in her mind for a while, but it's kind of to deconstruct a dandelion.
Okay.
Put it on a creature, you know.
I can see the dandelion on your hair. Yeah.
It's a mature dandelion.
For sure. For sure. For sure. And Jess, how long does it take you to make something like that?
I mean, that's a question. It kind of depends on everything else I have going on.
Okay.
Yep. So I don't really sit down and spend one chunk of time on something. This was just kind of a concept I had, and I just kind of developed as I went, and I take breaks here and there. So there's really no time. I appreciate Sarah so much because she's always so open and willing to model these creations for me. She's always at our fantasy events, like modeling one of these whimsical little creations. So I appreciate her, and we just took some pictures outside, and
it's fun for me.
She makes an amazing model.
I think, you know, just kind of having people around you that are those types of people is just really unique. I couldn't imagine having a friend of mine model something that I made like that. They probably would laugh me down the road if I proposed that. So it's good that you have these types of people in your corner that are big and support the things that you do.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that helps push you on and keep you moving forward. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I've found being in rural Midwest, it's often difficult to kind of find supportive.
What was the inspiration for this dandelion?
Yeah, so I had a giant dandelion making party where I invited people over, and we just made these giant dandelions to be displayed at the event. And it just got me thinking.
This is what they kind of look like, but with a big stick on them.
Like it's a giant staff with a dandelion head. And then it just got me thinking about having a live a model.
Okay.
To display one and kind of walk around and interact and just kind of invite that whimsy.
There you go. So if you're looking for an excuse to become whimsical, August 24th, August 25th will be your chance. Whitney Gold Acres, Jess Kettler. Sarah's going to be there. Now, Sarah, are you going to be wearing this piece or are you going to be doing something different?
Wearing this piece, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you for coming and bringing that out, you know, and showing the folks at home what to expect, you know, when they come to this event. That's a big deal. And we also have some footage of you too. You guys took some pictures earlier, so we're gonna share those with the friends at the end of this broadcast. So at the end, stay tuned because you're gonna get a chance to see this. You really can't get a good picture of the artistry sitting here on the couch, but trust me, I'm gonna put some pictures up here in a second, and you'll be able to see everything that we got going. So big shout out to Jess and Sarah for coming up here to Black Hawk County and hanging out with us and sharing some of this creation. All right. So what's coming up next?
After the fairy retreat, we're actually hosting a few different retreats that are being hosted by different organizations or different people. All Love Wellness is hosting a retreat. It's going to have like vendors and it's all family oriented, so I'd recommend looking that up as well because it's going to be really fun.
And you also do yoga events out there sometimes?
Yeah, Heidi Drazy and I kind of collaborate, and sometimes a few other Marshalltown yogis, we get together and we do like a farmyard yoga or baby goat yoga or just retreat.
For sure. One thing I like to ask all our guests that come onto the Drum Iowa Network is, you know, we all have things that we do to help us get through the day. We all have tools in our tool belts that some things work for me, that don't work for you, that may work for the people at home and so forth. What are some things outside of art? I'm going to challenge you. Now, what are some things outside of art that you do to cope, to keep you balanced, and to keep you moving throughout the day? Because you do a lot. You're very high octane. You deal with a lot of people, a lot of personalities. So for the folks at home who may be in a similar situation, what are some things you do to kind of help you?
Sometimes it can be really difficult to find or make time and carve out that kind of space to take a break and to slow down and to kind of reflect. I try to remind myself to do is just to kind of do things that make me feel comfortable and cozy. And if that's like just like a cup of tea or like going out to the treehouse or finding I don't know, I like unique Airbnbs or, traveling little small distances.
Okay.
And just taking some time out just to feel cozy.
All right. What about you, Sarah? What are some things that you do to kind of keep it moving throughout the day? Some things that you have in your tool belt?
Well, I love to laugh, and I work with kids, so they keep me on my toes, and I'm constantly laughing at just random stuff that happens with kids throughout the day. But like, just for myself, when I'm carving out time for myself in the day, I always like reach out to my friends that are funny and look up different videos and stuff on the internet that make me laugh, because it's just a really good medicine, laughter, for me.
All right. Laughter is definitely good medicine, and being able to laugh at yourself sometime is big. I think if people can develop that skill to laugh at themselves, we wouldn't be so uptight about shit, Big thank you to you ladies for coming out and sharing your time with me and all of our friends out there in the Drum Iowa Network. Just a few events coming up. We have August 31st, we'll be drumming on the Cedar again. That's going to be a ball. We have Bree. It's going to be out with the hula hoops. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We will be cruising into September out at Prairie Woods in Hiawatha. So for our friends down in Lynn County, we can't wait to see you down there. It's going to be a vibe. We just locked down the date for Decorah. So for all of our Decorah friends, we will be back up in September by popular demand. Our dear friends at the Decorah Parks and Recreation, we really thank you. We thank you. Those guys, they really go outside their way. Big shout out to Mallory up there. We say, hey, this is really what we would like to see, what we would like our event to look like. And she literally goes and scours all of the parks and all of the properties that they have up there. It's like, we think this will be a good spot. It's like, okay, let's do it. So having partners like that, having stakeholders like that are supporters of drum culture is really big, because without those stakeholders, it's just one guy going up to a place hoping people show up. But so having those types of stakeholders that are really involved and supportive of drum culture really means a lot. So big shout out to all of our friends, Waterloo Center of the Arts, Prairie Woods, Decorah Parks and Recreation, our friends down at the Iowa City Public Library, our friends over at Windy Goat Acres, all of the stakeholders in our communities that really embrace drum culture and really makes a difference. This thing cannot be done without your support. So thank you. And with that, I'm not going to belabor it. Thank you, ladies, again for coming out and hanging out with us. I had a ball. Every time we hang out, we have a ball. If you're not telling me off about something, she tells me off about a lot of different things. This friendship is really a multifaceted friendship. I get told off a lot, but I take it on the chin, because I'm a bigger guy. But big thanks. We appreciate you for coming out. And this is going to be another one of our Sammy Davis guests like Danny. So this is not the last time you'll be here. We want you to come out and talk more about some of your other events as you grow, as Windy Goat Acres grows. We want to be able to showcase that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So again, all of our friends out there, August 24th, August 25th, we will be down in Chelsea at Windy Goat Acres. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet, you better hurry up and get your ticket. They got T-shirts. By the way, I like that one. That's really fresh. That's my style. So definitely going to have to stock up on my Windy Goat gear. And the Drum Iowa gear is coming, by the way, as well. But I'm definitely going to stock up on my Windy Goat gear when I get down there. Oh, and before we sign out of here, I'm going to challenge our friends to kind of think about an event that would be suitable for Windy Goat Acres. We would love to come out and just do our drum thing, but I don't know what that looks like. So I'm going to challenge our friends. Shoot me a message, hit me up and say, hey, Michael, what if we did A, B, C, D, E, F, G out at Windy Goats? We run it past Jess. see, and we make it happen. But
I'm excited for those suggestions.
yeah, so shoot those in, and if you want to shoot them straight to Jess, shoot them straight to Jess. Send them to somebody. We just want to get the suggestions so we can be out at Windy Goats again sometime next summer. And with that, you guys have a good rest of your evening, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.